Stop pulling weeds. Just stop. Because the fix isn't a spray, a fabric, or another Saturday on your knees. It's the right plants. What if I told you 10 specific choices could crowd out weeds so completely that they barely get a chance to sprout? Not a myth, not a gimmick. This is how experienced gardeners quietly keep their beds clean without spending their weekends weeding. Dense roots, thick foliage, fast-spreading habits, plants that fill every inch of open soil before a weed seed ever gets the light or space it needs to germinate. Today I'm walking you through 10 of the best weed-suppressing plants you can add to your garden, from fragrant sun lovers to shade-loving workhorses. By the end, you'll know exactly which ones fit your yard, your climate, and your style. Let's get into it. Plant 1. Creeping thyme. If you only add one plant to fight weeds, make it creeping thyme. This low, mat-forming herb, botanically known as thymus, spreads into a dense carpet just 2 to 4 inches tall, and it does it fast. A single small transplant can double or triple its spread in one growing season. Once established, it leaves almost no bare soil exposed, which means no landing spot for wind-blown weed seeds and no gap for existing weed roots to push through. It thrives in full sun and poor, gravelly, well-draining soil, which makes it perfect for the spots where nothing else wants to grow. Between pavers, along a dry rock border on a sunny slope, or replacing patches of struggling lawn in USDA zones 4 through 9. In late spring and early summer, it covers itself in tiny purple, pink, or white blooms that pollinators love, and brushing against the foliage releases a soft herbal fragrance that lingers on your shoes long after you've walked through it. It's remarkably hardy, drought-tolerant once rooted, and handles light foot traffic without complaint, which is why it's a favorite for stepping stone pathways. Varieties like woolly thyme give you a softer, more silvery texture, while red creeping thyme delivers a dramatic carpet of magenta blooms. The only real care it needs is a light shearing after flowering to keep growth dense, tidy, and actively spreading rather than woody and sparse. Plant 2. Lavender. Lavender earns its reputation as a garden workhorse, and it's one of the few plants that manages to look elegant while doing genuinely hard work underground. Its woody, mounding structure and dense silvery green foliage shade the soil around its base, and its deep, wiry root system reaches further and faster than most annual weeds, outcompeting them for water and nutrients in dry, sunny conditions. Planted in a row along a border, walkway, or driveway edge, and within 2 to 3 years you get a thickening living hedge that closes off the bare ground weeds rely on to establish. Lavender wants full sun, at least 6 hours a day, and sharp drainage. It actually performs worse in rich, moist soil, since damp roots are prone to rot, which makes it an excellent choice for the difficult, dry strip where other plants tend to fail. English lavender varieties handle colder winters down to zone 5, while French and Spanish types prefer the milder conditions of zones 8 and up. Beyond weed control, you get months of purple, blue, or white blooms from early to mid-summer, heavy pollinator traffic from bees and butterflies, and a fragrance you can harvest for cooking, sachets, dried bouquets, or homemade oils. Maintenance is refreshingly simple. One hard prune in early spring or right after flowering finishes to keep the plant compact and prevent it from becoming woody and gappy at the base, which is the one condition that lets weeds sneak back in. Plant 3. Sweet alyssum. Sweet alyssum is proof that a small plant can do a big job. It germinates and grows fast from seed, mounding and spreading, until it forms a low, dense cushion just 4 to 6 inches tall, covered edge to edge in tiny white, pink, apricot, or purple flowers. That density is the real key to its weed control. It closes every gap in the bed so thoroughly and so quickly that weed seedlings simply have nowhere left to establish, especially in the first year after planting a new bed when soil is otherwise bare. It's grown as an annual in most climates, hardy roughly to zone 5 for a light frost, so you're resowing or replanting each spring, but it's inexpensive, forgiving, and often self-seeds enough to return on its own. It tolerates heat and short, dry spells once it's rooted in, though it does appreciate consistent moisture and light afternoon shade in the hottest climates to keep blooming through summer instead of fading. It's especially useful as a temporary filler around new perennials, shrubs, or young trees while they're still small, and the surrounding soil is otherwise exposed and vulnerable to weeds. As a bonus, it releases a honey-sweet fragrance, particularly noticeable in the cool of the evening, and draws in beneficial pollinators and even predatory insects that help control garden pests, making it a quietly useful companion plant throughout a vegetable or flower bed. Plant 4. Creeping Jenny. Creeping Jenny, also known as moneywort or Lysimachia nummularia, is one of the fastest spreading ground covers you can plant, and that speed is exactly what makes it such an effective weed suppressor. Its round, coin-shaped leaves grow along trailing stems that root wherever they touch soil, so a single small plant can cover several square feet in one season and continue expanding year after year in zones 4 through 9. It fills bare ground before anything else has the chance to take hold, which is why it's such a popular choice for problem areas where weeds usually thrive unchecked. It handles full sun to fairly deep shade and prefers consistently moist soil, making it a strong option for the damp, shady corners near downspouts, under trees, or along a pond edge where lawn grass typically fails and weeds take over instead. It also works beautifully cascading over a retaining wall, spilling from a hanging basket, or filling the gaps between stepping stones, where its bright chartreuse yellow color adds real visual interest, especially in low-light areas where most other plants look flat and dull. In early summer it produces small, cheerful yellow cup-shaped flowers that add a bit of extra sparkle without asking for any extra care. Keep an eye on it near smaller, less vigorous neighbors, since its enthusiasm for spreading means it may need an occasional edge trim to stay within its intended space. Plant 5. Catmint. Catmint, or Nepeta, is one of the most reliable weed-suppressing perennials you can plant in a sunny border. It grows into loose, bushy mounds of soft gray-green foliage 18 to 24 inches wide that fill in quickly and shade the soil beneath, and mature clumps modestly self-seed to thicken a planting further over time. It's remarkably tough and low maintenance. Deer and rabbits generally leave it alone thanks to its scented foliage. It shrugs off heat and drought once established, and it thrives in USDA zones 3 through 8, tolerating both hot summers and cold winters with little fuss. Unlike many perennials that bloom for a few weeks and then sit green for the rest of the season, catmint blooms for months, especially if you shear it back by about a third after the first flush of flowers fades in early summer, which triggers a fresh round of blooming through fall. Plant it along a path, as a border edge, or at the front of a bed, and it will lean and spill naturally over the soil line, closing off the bare edge where weeds most often sneak in from a lawn or gravel path. The lavender blue flower spikes are a genuine magnet for bees and butterflies, and the foliage carries a light, minty sage fragrance when brushed, which many gardeners use as a natural deterrent for pests browsing nearby vegetables. Plant 6. Daylilies. Daylilies, or hemerocallis, are as effective underground as they are beautiful above it, which is part of why they've remained a garden staple for generations. Mature clumps develop a dense network of thick, fleshy, fibrous roots that physically crowd out competing weed roots, while their long, arching, strap-like leaves form a full canopy that shades the soil and blocks the light germinating weed seedlings need to survive. They tolerate heat, drought, and poor or clay-heavy soil, and they genuinely improve with age. Clumps widen every year, gradually closing whatever gaps remained after the first season, and thriving reliably in zones 3 through 9. Each individual bloom lasts only a single day, which is where the name comes from, but a mature, healthy clump produces so many buds in succession that you get weeks, sometimes months, of continuous color in shades of orange, yellow, red, pink, and deep burgundy, depending on the variety you choose. When a clump becomes crowded after 3 to 5 years, you can dig it up and divide it, which both rejuvenates the plant's blooming and lets you extend your weed-free coverage into new areas of the yard or share divisions with friends and neighbors. They perform best in full sun to light shade, and once established, need very little beyond an occasional deadheading of spent flower stalks to keep the bed looking tidy. Plant 7. Hostas. For shady spots where grass and most flowering plants struggle, hostas are hard to beat, and they're often the single best answer for the frustrating patches under mature trees or along the north side of a house. Their broad, overlapping leaves form a dense canopy that blocks sunlight from reaching the soil, keeping it cool, consistently shaded, and inhospitable to germinating weed seeds throughout the growing season. Sizes range enormously, from small mounding miniatures with leaves the size of a coin to giant specimens with leaves over a foot across, so you can layer several varieties for texture even within a single shaded bed. The color range is just as wide. Forest green, blue-green, chartreuse gold, and variegated combinations with white or cream edges, which means a hosta planting can look genuinely varied and intentional rather than like a single monotonous ground cover. Hostas are hardy in zones 3 through 9 and are genuinely low maintenance. Plant them in part to full shade, keep them watered through dry spells especially in their first year, and they'll bulk up reliably year after year with minimal intervention beyond occasional dividing once a clump gets crowded. Many varieties send up tall, elegant flower spikes in mid to late summer, in shades of white or lavender, that add a light fragrance and draw in hummingbirds, which is a welcome bonus in a shaded area that otherwise sees relatively little pollinator activity. The one thing to watch for is slugs, which are drawn to the same moist shade hostas love, so a bit of vigilance there keeps the leaves looking their best. Plant 8. Sedum. Sedum, commonly called stonacrop, is about as low-maintenance a weed-suppressing ground cover as exists. Its fleshy, succulent leaves store water internally, which lets it handle full sun, intense heat, humidity, and genuinely poor, rocky soil without complaint, and low-growing varieties even tolerate some light foot traffic. As it spreads, it forms a thick, moss-like mat that leaves essentially no open soil for weeds to exploit, and it manages this in conditions many other ground covers simply can't tolerate, like sandy slopes, gravel gardens, or the thin soil along a retaining wall. Low-growing types like Sedum acre or dragon's blood work beautifully tucked between stepping stones or along a sunny border edge, while taller upright varieties such as autumn joy make a strong structural planting in the middle of a bed. It's hardy across an unusually wide range, from Zone 3 up through Zone 9 depending on the variety, and needs essentially no supplemental watering once established, which makes it one of the most drought-resilient choices on this entire list. In late summer and into fall, Sedum produces broad, flat-topped clusters of star-shaped flowers that shift color as they age, from soft pink to deep rust, adding valuable late-season color, and a strong late nectar source for bees and butterflies right when many other perennials are already fading for the year. Plant 9. Lamb's Ear. Lamb's Ear, or Stachys byzantina, is a favorite for dry, sunny borders where drainage is sharp and rainfall can be inconsistent through the season. Its soft, silvery, almost velvet-textured leaves form a dense, low mat, typically 6 to 12 inches tall, that shades the soil surface and helps hold moisture in, which keeps weed seeds from getting the light and warmth they need to sprout in the first place. It spreads readily both by underground roots and by modest self-seeding, gradually filling in gaps in a border over a couple of growing seasons without becoming aggressive or hard to manage. Because the foliage is so visually distinct, pale, fuzzy, and almost silver-white, it also does double duty as a striking textural contrast next to greener perennials or dark-leaved companions, which is part of why it's such a popular border and edging plant. It's hardy in zones 4 through 8, deer and rabbit resistant thanks to its fuzzy texture, and extremely drought tolerant once rooted in, needing very little beyond removing the occasional flower stalk if you prefer to keep the foliage matte looking neat and prevent excess self-seeding. In summer, it does send up spikes of small purple-pink flowers that bees appreciate, though many gardeners trim these off early simply to keep the emphasis on the foliage. Plant 10. Ajuga. Bugleweed, or Ajuga reptans, is one of the toughest, most adaptable weed-suppressing ground covers available for shade or part sun, and it's often the plant that finally solves a patchy, weed-prone lawn edge. It forms a low, dense mat of glossy foliage, often in deep purple, bronze, or variegated tones depending on the variety, that spreads by runners, rooting as it goes and closing off bare soil section by section over a single season. It tolerates light foot traffic remarkably well, which makes it a genuine, practical lawn substitute in shaded areas where turf grass thins out and weeds typically move in to fill the gap. In spring, it sends up short, dense spikes of blue-purple flowers that bees are strongly drawn to, adding welcome color right when many shade gardens are still waking up from winter. It's reliably cold-hardy down to zone 3, thrives in zones up through 9 in the right conditions, and spreads consistently without needing regular fertilizing, dividing, or replanting, which makes it one of the easiest, most set-and-forget choices on this entire list. The one thing worth watching is its spreading habit near smaller companion plants, since given rich, moist soil it can expand more aggressively than expected, so an occasional edge trim keeps it contained to exactly where you want it. That's 10 plants that do the weeding for you: fragrant borders, shady ground covers, and tough perennials that simply leave no room for weeds to take hold. Pick the ones that match your sun, soil, and climate, plant them densely, and let them do the work all season long. Which one are you planting first?